Hi everyone, here's the video overview for Tuesday, May 19th. Our main event today is the fourth item, literary essay. The work that we'll be doing on Tuesday will prepare us for the Wednesday morning 4-minute check-in. So it's really important that we all follow the directions carefully for today's step with our real essay, which we're starting today. We begin with the batting order problem in math. Max, Cody, Mookie, and Justin are members of a baseball team. They are the first four hitters to get up to bat in each game. Cody does not bat first. Max bats between Justin and Mookie. Justin bats between Cody and Max. What is the batting order for these four players? We'll go ahead and pause here because the answer key is coming next. Here's how I filled out the top part. I thought the important facts were the players' names and the fact that they were their first four hitters. The next three items are conditions. Cody cannot bat first. That's a special rule. Max has to be between Justin and Mookie, and Justin has to be between Cody and Max. So once again, I'm going for the make a chart strategy because it's going to help with any type of ordering like this situation calls for. Now, I put the numbers on the top and the names on the side. We can very easily reverse that. Now, notice I'm showing a picture of the chart and the conditions so that I can go back and forth making sure that I address each condition as I fill out the chart. So first, I know that Cody is not first, so I put an X to show that. Then I know that Max is between two people and Justin is between two people. So I cross off first and last for Max and Justin because if you're between people, you can't be on either end. Now, I'm always on the lookout for 3 out of 4 in every column, in any column or row being X'd out, and I'm noticing that. So in the Mookie 1 area, I'm going to put a yes, and now the dominoes start falling, and hopefully you find this a lot of fun when you get to this point as I do. So we cross out everything else for Mookie. Once again, I'm on the lookout for 3 out of 4 with X's, and there is one. Cody needs to be fourth, and I fill that one in here, and I also jumped ahead a step. If Mookie's first and Cody's fourth, I need to figure out where Max goes and where Justin goes. So I look at the conditions. If Mookie's first, I need to find the person who's next to Mookie in the order. So it says Max is between Justin and Mookie. Justin is not next to him. So I know that Max has to be second. So I cross out everything else for Max, leaving only one space left for Justin to be third. On this slide, I show the answer at the bottom. I'm also showing that I checked the conditions carefully and I can choose yes, my answer is reasonable. This is also a good chance to use the guess and check strategy if you've never tried it. I knew that Cody wasn't first. I know that Max is between Mookie and Justin, so I just guessed the order on top. And since I don't want to do the guess and hope strategy and just walk away, I need to check it with the conditions. Now I know that can't be right because it said that Justin has to be between somebody. So then I simply switch the order of Justin and Mookie. I keep Max and Cody in the same place. And just by flipping it, I'm done. It only took 2 guesses before I meet all the conditions. Sometimes it'll take 2, sometimes it'll take 5 or 6, but it is a great strategy. I'm not showing the process of elimination here because it's very similar to the chart, but you're more than welcome to do that and send me a picture of it so I can add it to our Padlet. We're moving on to reading workshop now. We are done with our author study unit. I'm still encouraging everybody to read nonfiction, and our focus this week is taking the skills we learn in reading workshop and applying them to the different content areas. Transfer being the ultimate goal here. When you get to middle school, you're not going to have reading as a separate class. You're going to have reading as part of all your other classes, so it's really important that we are able to transfer the skills that we're learning in elementary school and reading workshop to the different areas. On Monday, I encouraged you to try out the things that I shared with you during the CRP reading that you're doing this week. You're welcome to try that today as well. On Monday, I mostly demonstrated some different strategies that I think you'll find helpful. Today, we're actually going to dig deeper into them and practice the way we would after recess on a typical day in reading workshop when we're all on the rug together. This is the paragraph I showed you and mentioned that sometimes information can be densely packed or complicated or confusing, and it's nice to have strategies to simplify things and help us pick out the most important information. One idea was highlighting, which you're welcome to do today, and since you're not going to highlight your screen, you can figure out what you would have highlighted if this were on paper. I also suggested boxes and bullets to find the main idea to put in the box, and then put the bullets underneath. That you can definitely do on a piece of paper today. And then the other one, for those people who prefer pictures to words, you can draw it out, because sometimes putting something into pictures is a great way to build our understanding. And I also mentioned that you're not going to do this for every paragraph that you read, but when you come to paragraphs that are a little confusing for you, it is so worth it to take the time to do one of these strategies to simplify things for you. Here's today's new one, and I'm not going to read it to you because I want you to, that's part of the exercise. So I'd like you to pause it here, find a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, and then make a decision. Do you want to do virtual highlighting? Do you want to do boxes and bullets? Do you want to do a picture? Do you want to do one or more things? Once you've spent 5 to 10 minutes, the way we would during a reading workshop lesson on the rug with our hard books and pencils and highlighters, go ahead and start the video again, and I'll share with you what I did. Now, if you're highlighting, you might have highlighted something different from what I did, and that's fine. As long as you didn't highlight too much or too little, you tried to pick out what you felt was the most important information. If you did boxes and bullets, perhaps your main idea came right from the sentence on top, because that's usually where we find the main idea. Not always, but usually. And then I took the ideas that I highlighted and I put them as my bullets for the boxes and bullets. And then you see my picture, my attempt to take the information in the paragraph and make it more understandable by drawing it. So that is the end of our lesson, and we'll do our regular web reading today. Hopefully a combination of fiction and some nonfiction. With our community resource project, there's really no new information coming your way today. Yesterday, I shared with you that we're beginning to go through the steps of our action plan, learning the definitions of the terms, learning how dangerous they are, and coming up with some kind of rating. Here was the suggested schedule, where with the 3 sections of reading that I put into the PDF on Google, you can read 1 per day and then leave Thursday as your finish day or your catch-up day if you need it. You may or may not. Remember that at the end of the day on Thursday, when you turn it in, I'll need to approve what you did before you move on to the actual making of the resource next week. If you're done, this is new information. If you're done early, like Tuesday or Wednesday, you can let me know that. You can share it with me, and I can look through it and give you approval early if you want it. That way, if there's something that isn't correct or you didn't write the definition using the exact words from the book or something like that, I can get back to you. So again, if you do finish early, let me know. That gives you a little more time to make any adjustments if necessary, or for me to give approval earlier than planned. Here's what the sheet looks like for your Google Classroom. Please be sure that you are using exact words from the book, so I know that you're following directions and you're being very efficient in how you're doing everything. When you do your danger rating, be sure you're telling me what it is. Maybe on top of number 1 in landslide, you can just type in what your scale is or what type of rating you're using, so I know how to understand what you're typing. And then again, be sure you're explaining why you're giving each one the rating that you are. So it's not just a number, it's a number and an explanation. Now, our main event today. Beginning round 2 of our literary essay, our quote-unquote real one. And there are several reasons to get excited. First, you've been saving this one. You did your practice one. You chose your real short story for a reason. It's probably because you thought you could do the best job, or maybe it was your favorite. Now we get to start that. So that's exciting. Also, you have more experience now. You've been through the process once and probably learned quite a bit about the structure, so you're going to do better this time around. That's another reason to get excited. I've also read all 30 of the essays. Now, after doing that, I'm in a better position to help all of you because I know what you might have done really well with and what you might need a little guidance with. So I can do that a little bit better now. Here are today's steps. First, you're going to open a new doc. And last time we had a prep doc. We're not going to have that this time around. It's going to be a little more streamlined. You're going to have the name of your file be your name, apostrophe S, real essay. Please be sure your words are exact so that it's very easy for me to find it. Now, after you open it, be sure to share it today so we can just take care of that on the first day. And then you're going to go through the same first steps that you did last time. Choosing your thesis statement and finding your examples or gathering your evidence. When we have our 4-minute check-in on Wednesday, you're going to be ready for me. You're going to say, here's my thesis statement. You're going to show me your examples. You can even share your screen with me if we can figure that out, and I think we can, so that I can actually see what you typed. Actually, we'll plan to share your screen with me so I can see your typing in your new real essay doc. Let's talk about the 2 steps of finding your thesis, of choosing your thesis statement and gathering your evidence. I'm not too worried about this one because we all did a really nice job last time of choosing the thesis statement. First, we want to be sure it's opinion, not a fact. You would not say in the short story, Bad Road for Cats, Magda is a woman. Don't need to do that. That's a fact. No one's going to disagree with you about that. So you have to pick a big idea that some people might disagree with. You're taking a stand with your literary essay. You also want to be sure that it's one clear idea. You wouldn't say in the story of Bad Road for Cats by Cynthia Rylant, Magda cares about Lewis and she misses him. That's two things, and you don't want to prove two things, you want to prove one. So it should look like the bottom bullet point. In this story, blank by blank, that's how we want to start our thesis statement. Please be very attentive to that detail. And then you give your opinion, that's one clear idea. With your evidence, the goal is 3, and pretty much everybody found 3 last time, or 4. That was great. We all did a nice job of coming up with enough examples. Exact quotes are the best, but if you can't find exact quotes to prove your point, any information from the story that supports your thesis statement will work. And then anytime I use red and 10 exclamation points, you know that I'm serious about this. You want to be really strict with yourself. You want to be strict that your examples really do support and prove your thesis statement. So with this one, go one at a time. If I'm saying that Doris's parents shoot down her attempts to persuade them to keep the dog, I have to pretend that people are looking at me skeptically, that they don't believe me. So I have to look at each one and say, okay, does my first example really show or really prove that her parents shoot down her attempts to persuade them to keep the dog? And if it doesn't, then I need to change it or pick another one. If it honestly does, then I keep it. Sometimes the examples, and this is what I learned last time around, sometimes the examples that some of us put might be related to the thesis statement. They might be connected, but they don't directly support it or prove it. So you want to be, again, really strict to make sure that you do, so that when you share your new essay doc with me, I can look at this with you and it'll be a very smooth process. And as I mentioned, if there are any issues or confusion or difficulty, we'll meet during office hours and we will solve it. That is it for today. Thanks.